For the longest time on this channel, I have built a video game collection up from nothing. I started by buying something, selling it on, making a profit, using that profit to buy even more things, trading some stuff in along the way into CEX of course, and then building the collection from there. And over the course of nearly 100 episodes, I had a pretty sizable collection of video games. My pride and joy is my Mega Drive collection. That is one of, if not my most favourite console of all time. That is the console I'd like to focus on primarily, although games for the Mega Drive are a lot harder to come by than say the Xbox 360 for example. You can walk into a CEX and pick up a handful of Xbox 360 games for under a $5, whereas if you walk into any CEX with a $5, you're unlikely to be able to buy a boxed Mega Drive game. My local CEX for example will only have 4 or 5 boxed Mega Drive games at a time. Something strange happened recently actually. They had around 6 or 7 and 3 or 4 of them I actually wanted, and before I could really gather the credit to go there and pick them up, someone had bought them. But then 3 days later I check the stock file, as you can do online with CEX, and someone had returned them, so they probably weren't in the best of condition. I haven't actually gone there to have a look, but it might be something I look to do in the next few days. Now, I forgot to mention when I originally recorded this, but for those of you who don't know, I started selling off a portion of my collection recently. Now, I'm going on holiday at the end of the year, and I needed to fund it. This holiday is to America, and I want to buy some exclusive games over there, as well as just enjoy myself in general, so I needed to raise money, and fast. And what better way to do that than to sell some of the games that I'm not using. Now, unfortunately, my Switch collection took the brunt of the sell-off, and you'll see in a second which games I decided to keep. But that is the backstory. This is the remaining stack of Switch games I have in my collection. I'll go through them very briefly for those who are interested in the games I'm going to keep. The first of one is going to be Arcade Paradise. This, I believe, was on sale through the Amazon Prime Day. I'm not sure if the prices stayed down. It was around 17 quid. I think it's a really good deal for this. This is a very, very good game. One of my most favourite games actually of the modern era of video games. Especially if you're older, this will give you a massive nostalgia hit as well as just being a very good game in general. The other one is Chicken Police, because I'd like to play through this fully before I get rid of it. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, it's a good game. It has dropped a lot in value, but again, it's just something that really interests me, so I'm going to keep that one. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. This is a game I'm keeping more for my wife than anything else. She wanted to play through it, she has played a fair bit, but she wants to finish it, and there's no reason to get rid of it just yet. The Heaven Dust Collection is a game that I really want to open, but for some reason I can't bring myself to do it, but I am going to keep hold of it for the time being. This is actually the most valuable Switch game that I have and have had. I think this is now worth around 65 to 70 quid. If I wanted to sell it, I could probably get around 55, 60 quite comfortably, but like I said, I want to keep it. Eventually I will open it. Tokyo 2020, I like popping this into the Switch every now and again, having a little go at the 100 meters. I wish they would make a more realistic Olympic game, as I am massively into running and sprinting especially. But for what it is, it's not a bad game, and I have to have it on some platform, so why not the Switch? Perky Little Things, not because I'm a pervert, although that is definitely up for debate. This is just a really valuable game. It's now worth around 45-ish, I think. It might even be worth a little bit more at this point. I just don't see it slowing down really, so I'm going to keep it because I want it to go up more, and I can see it going up more. This is not a game you get on the Switch every day. That's why it has gone from 20 quid up to £40 plus, so I'm keeping hold of it more as an investment than anything else, because to be quite frank, I don't see myself playing this one again. It's a weird one if you don't know anything about it. Just to interject here for a second, if you go on Amazon right now, you can get this game for $29.99. It actually trades into CEX for £32. And I'm not suggesting that you go to Amazon, buy the game for 30 quid and trade it in for 32. Definitely an option. However, if you want this game and you don't want to pay the £48 CEX are charging for second hand, you can just go to Amazon, buy it for 30 quid and have it brand new. You can find a link to that in the description if you want to just get there quickly. If not, then don't worry, let's carry on with the video. Pokemon Arceus, this is a game that I want to play. I'm probably going to save this for the foreseeable because I do want to get my teeth into it. I really enjoyed Sword, which is one of the games that has been moved on because I finished it and I really enjoyed it. And I will get my teeth into this one before moving on to the newer ones. That's why I'm going to keep this one. Shaq Fu, just Mega Drive vibes really. I haven't really played an awful lot of this, but from what I have played, I have enjoyed. I really like Shaq Fu on the Mega Drive, and that's why this one's staying. Plus, this isn't really expensive, so there's not an awful lot of point selling it anyway. Streets of Rage 4, I think this is the cover, the reversible cover, yeah, Streets of Rage is just one of my most favourite games of all time. This one was really enjoyable to play, and I definitely will play through it again very, very soon, so that's why I've decided to keep it. And finally, and for some reason I still have the price on the front of this one, this is the Untitled Goose Game. I was just smiling, grinning from ear to ear while I was playing this from start to finish. It is such a... I can't even think of the word that I want to use to describe this, but it is such a good game, and it is so relaxing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just up there with, again, like Arcade Paradise, really. Both of those games, in fact, they are very relaxing. They are charming, I think that might be the word I'm looking for, but they're just brilliant, brilliant games, and I really, really have enjoyed playing both of those, and I will play through them again. Arcade Paradise is edging ever closer for me to pick it up again, but yeah, definitely never getting rid of those. And that's it. That's the stack. I know you're thinking, well, you had Mario this, Mario that, Yoshi this. I know, I've got rid of them all. I've either played through them and finished them and never intend on playing them again, or I'm thinking to myself, I'll pick them up again at a later date. My thought process was, and still is, those games exist, and they're not going anywhere. They were mass produced. I can pick them up again in the future, and I will. Mario Kart 8 is one of them. Yoshi's Crafted World, of course, is another one that I really want to get back again. I had games like Need for Speed as well, and Two Point Campus, and of course Source of Madness, which is a super rare game. Now, I do still have Source of Madness, and it is still sealed, and I'm trying to get top dollar for it. If it doesn't eventually sell, then I'm going to look to keep it, because again, it's like Heaven Dust. It is a game that I do want to keep and play through, but for some reason I can't bring myself to open them. I think it's because if you open it, it just sort of devalues it almost instantly. And at the moment I'm looking to sell Source of Madness, so that's why I'm not opening it, obviously. But yeah, I will look to keep some of the games eventually. If they don't sell and I go away and I haven't sold them, I'll just keep them. But the games that I've sold that I want to get back again, you know, your Mario Kart, even Pokemon Sword, because I will want to play through that again sometime in my life, I'm sure, I will look to pick up again after I come back. So it's not like I'm selling them off and I'm giving up collecting full stop. I'm not. I'm just parting with things that I've finished with for now, that I could do without for the next 6 to 12 months, and I will eventually get them back again. And it is the case for a lot of other things as well. So Deadpool behind me, you'll notice that Deadpool just isn't there. Why? I sold it. I got 33, I think, for that in total, well, with postage on top of it. Why? I don't really have any intention of playing it within the next 6 months, and I'm sure I can get it back again anyway. It isn't really going up in price. If anything, it might even be creeping down in price. And there are other platforms I can pick it up on as well if I really want to play it and I can't or don't want to shell out the £30 plus for it. So that's one game that's gone. And I do have a fair few others that have been listed. For example, Mudrunner is up for sale. Spider-Man is up for sale. The Mad Max Steelbook is now up for sale. Yesterday I listed Sudden Strike 4. And there are a few others across other platforms as well that I've listed. I'm not listing any of the Wii U or the Wii. None of the Mega Drive has gone up for sale either. There are a few Xbox 360 that I have toyed with, but as of yet I've not listed them. There are a few consoles that are up for sale though. Unfortunately they haven't gone quite yet. In fact, the only console I have sold is my second Switch, which was kind of surplus to requirements in the end. I did actually have that on the cheap. I picked it up for 60 quid I think on Facebook Marketplace, along with some accessories and games, and I've sold it on. I got a nice price for it as well. It's about 140 quid in total. Of course I got the trade value for the game. I originally picked it up because my wife wanted a console to take away with us, but she's going to have mine now, and I'm just going to play Football Manager on my laptop or something. I'm not that bothered about it. The other consoles I've got up for sale, the PS Vita, that right there is now up for sale, and I'm happy to let it go. I've had my fill of it, and I don't really think I'm going to get the benefit. I was very tempted to start collecting games for it, but the more that I play on my Switch and the more I play games on the laptop, for example, and just other things in life, I don't really see me playing that many games on the Vita. It's not to say that I don't think it's a good console, because I really do, and of course there are people out there who will love it and will want to collect the games for it, but the games are getting more and more expensive. They're obviously not making any more. There aren't that many on the platform that I want anyway, so In the future, I may pick another one up, who knows, but for right now, it's listed. It's listed at a very high price as well. I say very high, it's about 140, 150 I've got it listed for. It may or may not sell, but I am open to offers, and again, that is listed. The other system that I have listed is the 3DS. This thing surprised me as to how much I actually enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing Street Fighter on it. I even played FIFA 15 on it for a number of hours, and I'm sure there are other games that I would love to play through it as well. Just standard DS games, not necessarily 3D, but the 3D aspect of this actually did take me by surprise. I didn't think I'd be that bothered by it. Turns out I really, really like it. But I don't really see myself playing this anywhere near as much as my Switch or, again, the laptop. So for now anyway, I have this up for sale. How much? I don't know, 140, but with all the games with it as well, which I think is a pretty good deal. No takers just yet, but I'm sure it'll go relatively soon. Hopefully anyway. These are my only 2 remaining Wii remotes, although I will say these are both up for sale as well. I've got this one listed for about 17, 18. This one is 15, 16, something like that. They're not worth anywhere near the amount that you'd think they would be worth. I've sold the pink one. I think I got around 17, 18 for that one. And I sold the black one again. I got about the same price for that. Why? I don't really use these that often. If I ever play the Wii U, I have another just bog standard remote. In fact, I think it's behind this, if you can see it. I just use the normal remote because I don't really use an awful lot of the motion. If I'm playing a Wii U game, it tends to be some sort of platformer. Same with the Wii. And as these are not that expensive, I'm not that bothered. I'll just, ship them on, move them across to someone else, get the money for them now, and eventually I'll pick them up cheap. You find these type of things everywhere. If you go to a boot sale, the console you can all but guarantee to find, it's going to be a Wii, and it will come with one of these, or 3, or 4, or 10 of these, who knows. I haven't touched any of my PlayStation 5 collection, not that it's a big collection by any stretch of the imagination, although I will say, I don't really play many, if any, of those games. The only one that I'll really go to at the moment is Sifu. I keep popping that in every now and again to have a quick run through a level. Just really like the aspect of it, and just running through and just kicking a load of people in the face. I don't know, it just appeals to me. This is my most recent pickup on the platform, Road 96. I'm still yet to play this. I want it on the Switch. I bought it on the PS5 thinking that I would play it. I don't know if I ever will on the PS5, if I'm honest. It's not an expensive game. I think it's worth about £10, £12. I'm not going to sell it. It's not listed or anything. But I really want to play it because of the replayability of it, and the fact that the story changes every time. You can take different routes and different ways to escape, I guess. I'm not really sure of like 100% of the story and how it works, but I think I want to play this on the Switch, so that's why I've not yet dived into the PS5 version. But just to say that I'm not going to be selling any of my PS5 games, despite the fact that some of them, WWE for example, I really don't see myself ever playing again because I didn't enjoy that experience. F1 Manager 22 is another game that I thought I'd play a lot and I haven't played at all. So yeah, I'm not really sure why I'm not willing to sell those. I think it's just because they're not really worth that much, so I'm thinking, well, what's the point? That does bring me nicely onto my Xbox 360 collection, which I haven't touched, and I don't think I'm going to either. I hold it in very high regard. It's up there with my Mega Drive, and I do hold the Switch up there, but the reason I've sold the Switch games is because they're easy to pick up cheap on Vinted, and even in boot sales I do find them quite regularly, but they are worth a substantial amount for resale value. So it's something that I'm happy to let go now because I know I can get them back just as cheap as I found them the first time round. When it comes to Mega Drive games, not so much. And Xbox 360, they're not really worth an awful lot, the games that I have. I have a few that are worth £10 plus, but for the most part anyway, I'm happy to keep them because it is actually a console that I play quite regularly. So going forward, I'm going to be focusing on my Mega Drive collection, my Xbox 360 collection, and there may be a sprinkling of PS4 and PS5 in there as well. Haven't ruled out picking up any PS2 games, although for now anyway I can't really think of any that I really need now. So what I'm going to do going forward is to obviously continue to show the games that I pick up. I'm still going to buy and sell. I'm going to use the profit to buy these Mega Drive games. I'm going to be picking up credit and going to CEX. I'm also going to be doing some budget buys as well. So CEX is obviously the main place where all of us would go to look at video games. Maybe we don't all buy our video games from there, but that is something that I want to try and change. I think you can go into CEX with £5 or £10 or £20 and come out with a lot of quality that is at market value or even under. So I'm going to start to do budget videos very soon where we go into CEX with a fiver and see what we can pick up that is either undervalued or just a ridiculously good game that for some reason the entire market has undervalued. We'll talk more about that when I get there. In the next video, I think I'll probably end up going into CEX. Maybe we'll do one of those budget videos. I will take you along with me as well to charity shops, and hopefully the boot sales can start back up again soon. My local ones have been called off for, I don't know, the last God knows how long. There's been traveller problems at one of them. One of the other ones have had issues with the ground that they have the boot sale on. The weather has been atrocious here in the UK, of course, so that has called a lot of them off. But I think this weekend we could be going to a boot sale for the first time in about a month, I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you want to check out another video from me, you can click here, and until the next time, which won't be too far away, goodbye.